Hi, I'm Dana Cowley, and welcome to Charter Local Edition Northwest. Today we're in Salem, Oregon, and we're talking to your elected leaders. My guest today is Floyd Prozanski. Thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate you being here.
Thank you for having me on the show.
And you are the chair of the Senate Judiciary Committee. And what things are you trying to get accomplished during this short session?
Well, one of the things as a judiciary plus being a prosecutor, we're looking at how can we reduce crime and issues. And so we're working on closing the loophole on our background check bill or law that requires individuals before they can purchase a gun to go through a background check. What we know is that in our state, currently about 190 transfers are denied through our current background check that says felons can't have easy access to guns. So the goal is, if we close this loophole, we'll be able to ensure that fewer felons have easy access to guns. And this is something I know that most Oregonians want to ensure that felons, people who have been convicted that are not supposed to have guns, shouldn't have easy access to them.
This is somewhat controversial in the state, though. What kind of opinions do you hear from your constituents about this, and why?
Well, I hear a lot of different opinions. Once you sit down and talk about what is actually in place, currently we've had a background check law for 24 years, and during that period of time we've actually had the voters improve and expand the program to gun shows. And at gun shows, not only do you have licensed dealers that are selling guns, but also individuals. And so at a gun show, a transaction between two individuals require a background check. But if you go out in the parking lot, you don't have that same obligation. So we know, yeah, it really is. So we really do know that if we can actually close that loophole, we can make easy access to guns for felons much more difficult.
And you're also talking about having the voters consider legalized marijuana.
That's correct. With the state of Washington as well as Colorado passing legislation, we had a measure that was before the voters in 2012. In my opinion, very poorly worded. It was a citizen initiative that a bunch of advocates got together, and it was just one of those things that just really wasn't the Oregon way, and things that we felt that was important to ensure that we'd have proper taxation regulations that would hold people accountable where they're outside of the law, ensure that minors did not have easy access. This would be one that would require individuals to be 21 years of age or older, similar to alcohol. And we'd have regulations that would be similar to what we do now with alcohol. But what was important for me is to ensure that we wait and see what happens in those other two states. By watching and seeing how they are responded to by the federal government, then we could come back in 2015, if the voters said in November of this year, yes, we want to shift to this policy, then we, the legislature, through a process of venting and vetting the issues, could actually put together the Oregon model to ensure that we hold people accountable.
And I know that you probably get a lot of feedback on that measure, but if you look at these other states, particularly Colorado, they're sure earning a lot of sin taxes for their state, so that's one advantage.
It is, and I think that's what a lot of individuals now see today, where we've been for the last 30 to 40 years. The plan that we have, and as a prosecutor, we haven't been successful in dealing with this particular drug in the drug on wars. And so this is one of those areas that we can regulate it through taxation, and we can actually take that money and put it back in the general fund, education, human resources, and public safety. And
in closing, I just have to ask you this. You serve the greater Eugene area, which has the liberal college students and also a lot of rural areas. How do you satisfy all your people?
Well, for me, it's just listening and getting people together and look at common goals. What is it that we can do together and what we value as Oregonians? And the reality is, all of us want the same thing. We want good education for our kids. We want to ensure health care. And those are the issues that bring us all together.
Thank you, Floyd. We appreciate you joining us.
Thank you. I appreciate the time.
Thank you, Floyd Prozanski. I'm Dana Cowley. This is Charter Local Edition Northwest, and thanks for watching.